We are excited for this weekend. It's going to be great. We've got a ton of events lined up, I think north of 10 for the weekend starting tomorrow. Got some luncheons, and then we have a dinner honoring Pat. And his pillar will be unveiled. Saturday we have an alumni, a season ticket holder barbecue. Saturday night we dedicate the field house to Pat. And then of course Sunday culminates with the game and the induction ceremony at halftime. It's a great honor and a well-deserved honor for him, and it's a great moment for him, our fans, a lot of alumni back, and especially a nice moment for the family, Annabelle and the children. A well-deserved honor for them to be a part of as well. So with that, I'll leave it, and you can fire away with questions.
How fitting is it, Joe, that this game is also has so much attention on it on the same night Pat's being honored, that it seemed like it's a perfect intersection?
Yeah, it is. It is a perfect intersection. I mean, you've got two 6-0 teams, obviously, but you know, I think the league went with the theme of honoring past Super Bowls, considering this is the 50th Super Bowl year for the NFL, and our game was one of the great games back in 1997. So we're bringing that team back to help honor Pat this weekend, and you know, there's a lot of significance to it. And we'll wear the blue shirts and the white pants with the orange stripe, the uniform that Pat helped design and initiated back that very first year. And I think that's somewhat symbolic and should be great for everybody as well.
Joe, how's Pat doing?
Doing fine. Visited with him this morning. We had a nice, quiet, peaceful visit. It was great, and he's concentrating on his health and you know, fighting the good fight against a terrible disease.
Do you expect him to be there?
At this point, my understanding is he won't attend. You know, he's just going to continue to focus on his health and do the best he can. But you know, I know that the family will fill him in on every detail. It'll be nice.
What are you most excited for this weekend?
Everything. But I'm happy for Pat, and I'm happy for their family, for Annabelle and the children. You know, there'll be a lot of emotion for a lot of people. Pat had so many players that really respected him, and he adored his players. He had a ton of respect for them. He had a great way of connecting with them as an owner, and I think that you know, be very meaningful for everybody that's worked for him, that knows him, that's been a part of the league, that's going to be here, and things like that. So it'll be emotional, but it'll be well worthwhile and well deserved.
Joe, what do you think he would have said if he were to give remarks?
Oh, wow. What would he have said? We would have said, well, what am I doing up here? You know, that's kind of what he wouldn't have wanted the attention on himself. But he would have thanked his staff. He would have thanked his coaches over the years. He would have thanked his players, and he would have most importantly thanked the fans, because he always said, you know, I feel that I'm the custodian of this team, and it's really your team to the fans. He believed that. He understood that. I think that's a great thing for an owner to understand. And you know, he just would have been grateful. He would have been humble. I think he would have been a little embarrassed by the attention. He never liked that, obviously, but I think he would have been grateful to everybody and given credit to everybody, because that's just what he was, who he was, and who he is, and you know, that's how it would have gone.
What about that 97 team mean to him in that game, and his post-game speech mean to him, and what do you think you want to play?
Well, I feel like as an owner, so competitive, he's such a competitive guy, that game kind of got him over the hump as well, you know, because he will be the first to tell you that he is defined by Super Bowl wins and winning games, and that's how you achieve success in this business. It's not about dollar signs, it's about wins on the field. And so that was the ultimate win, obviously, and he you know, I think he was very proud of that, and to have those guys back, that was a special moment for him. And to have the players back, the coaches, Mike Shanahan will be here Saturday and Sunday for events. I think that would be very, very meaningful to Pat.
There are some cool stats about his winning percentages, like the number of Super Bowls versus losing seasons, where he ranks among all sports. Is there one that kind of stands out that you really like, that kind of best defines his overall success?
I like more Super Bowl appearances than losing seasons, and then that translates down or trickles down to, you know, over 300 wins in 32 years, and appearances, division titles, things like that. I mean, he's got a tremendous run of success here, and he's been able to sustain it, and there have been down periods, and I think he's taken steps to quickly correct those over time, and I think the fans recognize that, and they're grateful for that. So, but I do think it's a, you know, in 32 years, what is it, Patrick, 5 losing seasons or something like that. I mean, there's, you know, go through the rest of the league and run down the ledger, and it doesn't happen that way a lot.
You hoping this is going to be here, but there's a lot of alumni always around here. What does it say about the family atmosphere that Mr. B has built here?
Well, I just think it shows how much respect and how much the players and the coaches and people coming back, the Ring of Famers. I think we have 20 Ring of Famers coming back somewhere in that neighborhood. It just shows how much they care for Pat, and you know, it's a real tribute to him, and well deserved.
Do you have any?
Everyone knows pretty much all about his here in Denver, his local stats. But on the league level, what is the most important thing that he's ever done for this league that people may not know what he's done? You know, all his championships and like that.
Well, there's not one thing, actually. You know, it's several things where he's been a tremendous contributor through serving, you know, not serving, but working with 3 commissioners. The areas of television, labor, stadium development, international. Those are the 4 real ones, I think, 4 main ones where Pat really had an influence on what happened in the league and how the league was shaped. I mean, we're playing a game on Sunday Night Football, and Dick Ebersol, who will be in attendance this weekend, will tell you, together with Pat, you know, Pat was the vision behind that for the NFL. Thought it would work and pushed to get that through. And so that, I mean, there's one specific example that you can cite where he just did terrific things for the league. But he did that consistently. He loved the league. He loved his team, but he loved the NFL. And he was a league guy. He was an NFL guy, and he always did what was in the best interest of the league. And also remained, you know, of course, competitive and dear and loyal to his own team and tried to win every single game. So it's a rare, you know, it's a rare set of characteristics in owners sometimes to see that kind of participation at the league level and then the devotion at the club level as well.
Do you think the Pro Football Hall of Fame is soon for Pat Bowlen?
I sure hope so, Mike. I mean, I think it's well deserved, and it goes back to everything that he's done for this team and this community, and for the National Football League. And you know, there's so many examples that I just previously cited about all that he's done in all of those areas. He is more than deserving. He deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I hope it is soon.
How emotional do you think you'll be on Sunday night? You personally?
Oh, I think everybody will be emotional. We had a staff meeting yesterday down at the stadium, and it was on the stadium operations game day entertainment side, and we had about 63 people in that meeting. And some of them were, most of them were employees, and a handful of them were outside services people that help us on game day. You know, there was a lot of energy in that meeting, and a lot of, I could see the enthusiasm and what people were saying about, let's go out and make this great for Mr. B. So I think there'll be a lot of emotion from a lot of people, not just me, but everybody in the organization.
What are some of your favorite stories about Mr. B?
Well, some I can't speak to while the cameras are on, but no, you know, there's more than I can think back on. I mean, my favorite one, and I've shared this with a few of you here, is just his ability to put people at ease in business situations that I've dealt with. And one of them actually involved a football player. It was Matt Lepsis, and he was our left tackle at the time. We were playing a preseason game in actually Champaign, Illinois, because the Bears were building their new stadium at the time. It was a preseason game, and Matt's wife was about to deliver their first baby, and he found out at halftime that baby was coming soon and that there were some complications in the delivery process. And I don't know what those were specifically, but there was a sense of urgency of how do we get Matt back to his wife and his to-be-born child. And Pat said, that's easy, we're gonna put him on my plane, he's gonna come home with me. And when Matt got Pat asked me to come back with the 2 of them. And so when Matt got into the plane, I could tell he was very anxious and very nervous. And Pat spent the 2 hours of airtime that it took to fly from Champaign back to Centennial Airport here talking to Matt the whole time. The whole time he distracted him and talked to him and put it kind of, and I could see the shoulders drop in the air, you know, the relief come to Matt. And he got here and he scrambled over to the hospital and everything turned out all right. But it was just Pat's ability there to just, you know, in a humble and very, you know, very quiet way, put people at ease. And he had a great personal trait. And for me, I'll always remember that. You know, and there were other instances like that, but that was a memorable moment for me.
He, when he got his first Lombardi trophy, you know, the first thing he did, he delivered that enduring line, "This one's for John." I mean, he like right away gave it to someone else.
Yeah.
Is that in many ways kind of symbolic of what Pat Bowlen's about?
That's right. It's always about somebody else. You're exactly right. It's always about, you know, it's never about me, was what he would say. And it was a great trait, a great characteristic to have that kind of humility and grace. And, you know, I think all of us should have hopefully learned from that. It's a great way to conduct yourself as a person out front, very prominent person in a community and owning a sports team, that kind of thing.
This is a big game. The Broncos are 6-0. What are your thoughts on the team's progress so far this year?
Pretty good. It's pretty good. 6-0. You know, it's as good as you can be right now, and very much looking forward to the last 10 games of the regular season, and we'll see where if we're lucky enough we go from there. So, big test this weekend, obviously. Fun matchup, much anticipated game, obviously. But I'm optimistic. I'm a glass half full, or 3/4 full, or 7/8 full right now. I'm bullish on the Broncos.
Anything else?